Okay, share the board. Well, classroom. Okay. Well, so let's see, outsourcing, the new topic that we're going to talk about. So let's read the text together. The rise and fall of outsourcing. So let's read it together and of course answer a few questions. So, and the first question, how is outsourcing in India different to China? So that is so okay. Let's read. Yeah. Well, China probably provides majority of outsourcing for global manufacturing firms. But when it comes to offshore locations for service industries, no other country comes close to India. Take the ID industry, a whole range of products such as cars, Disney animation, and Windows software rely on the skilled workers of India. It's estimated that about 2/3 of all offshore ID work is carried out in India. Similarly, nearly 50% of all business process outsourcing BPO services are now based in India. The growth of outsourcing in India began in the early part of the 21st century when Western businesses realized they could outsource routine work in order to concentrate on their core activities. India offered outside expertise needed because of its ready supply of highly qualified graduates with English language skills. The sector grew quickly, and by 2010, it employed around 1 million people. Since then, an estimated 2 million business service jobs have shifted overseas from the USA and Europe to countries such as India, China, and Brazil. The revenue from export growth in a country like India also allowed greater investment in infrastructure and training facilities so that now the country is able to offer even greater expertise to multinational companies, especially in IT. However, there are now signs that the outsourcing opportunities are slowing down. There are three key reasons for this. One reason is that salaries in the sector have risen very quickly, ironically because of its financial success. As a result, Western businesses don't make the cost saving they once did. In addition, a lot of companies have already outsourced all the ID and BPO work they can. There is nothing left to outsource. Finally, and perhaps more worryingly for the outsourcing vendors in the countries like India, their clients are starting to relocate parts of their business closer to home, where they believe they have greater control over areas such as quality, and where their IT and BPO operations are not several time zones away from head office. Some analysts are predicting that outsourcing, as we have known it, might come to an end by 2025. Oh, really? Well, first let's talk about the words together, and then of course we'll answer the question. So the first word, as you can see, offshore location. So you know the meaning offshore, places outside of a country's border. Yeah. So of course, and you know that for business, manufacturing, customer service, and financial service, we use this phrase and we use it. So why these locations are chosen? There are different reasons. Saving money and avoid taxes, that is really important, and of course skilled labor. So offshore location, yeah, you know the meaning. So if I want to give you a synonym, I say foreign site or international base. So let me write it here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And why? To save money, avoid taxes, and of course, skilled laborers. So different reasons. So it's like, or you can see foreign site or overseas location. So there are two synonyms that you can, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the next one, of course, skilled workers. So you know the meaning of this. So we normally use it skilled workers, okay? And the next one that I can see here, so nearly 50% of all business process outsourcing. So this actually, it doesn't have to, to change to another because it's already clear. Well, let's talk about actually this outsourcing before we keep going with the meaning of the rest of the words. So, yes, do you think really the last line of this actually article is about the end of outsourcing? Do you think it will happen, considering all actually these events that is going on?
Sorry, can you say
Do
your
you
question?
think outsourcing will end in the near future?
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think may end, but it's not in near future. But actually, in the tariff policy from Trump, maybe maybe affect a lot in outsourcing industry because they don't the company will not gain the taxes
Yeah,
policy
of
from,
course.
and they didn't they will not save the money, right?
Yeah, of
They,
course.
for example, when they product a good when they product an iPhone with $1,000 from China, but
Yeah, of course.
when they import into US, it had to 2000 and
Yeah,
five
of course.
hundred dollar. So
Yeah,
so
of course.
I
Yeah.
don't think they can gain the low cost from China.
Ah. So I
But
think it will be limited, yeah, by governments maybe to some,
yeah,
maybe a few countries, but yes,
yeah,
I don't think. So because we have business process outsourcing, BPO, if I want to
yeah,
give you a good synonym, outsource operation. So what is that? When a company hires another company, okay,
yeah,
of course, you know that different country, to handle some, I don't know, certain business task. What is that? Especially IT, especially, for example, accounting, customer service. So different actually areas. Why? To save money again, to
yeah.
save time and money, but mostly to save money. So what it happened, so if I want to give you, let me give you a synonym. So for this one, business process, BPO,
Mm,
I say outsourced operations,
yeah,
like IT, accounting, and customer service.
yeah,
Again, yeah, to save money and time. Well, what is this one? Okay, core activities. So the meaning of this core activities, main task, main operations, essential operations, the most important ones. So
yeah,
we can say main operation or primary task, the most important ones.
yeah,
And the next one, so you know that India offered outside expertise needed because of its ready supply of high qualified graduates with English language skills. So that is really important. So I had no idea. First, expertise, okay, a lot of knowledge or skill.
yeah.
Skill is, yeah, of course. And like training, if I want to give you a good synonym, I say skill or training or knowledge. So all of them, okay? And
Mm.
of course, we know that,
I have
yeah,
question.
yeah,
You said that expertise, right?
expertise, of
Yeah,
course.
expertise similar with senior. Senior. Senior.
Senior, okay. Expertise, okay. Senior is, you know, that someone, but expertise is skill. So no, senior is someone who is skilled, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
expertise is skill, knowledge. As you can see here, we can, if I want to give you a good, yeah, of course, mastery, proficiency, all of them are synonyms, okay? For example, my expertise, but I'm not expertise, okay?
Yeah.
Well, for example, my expertise in digital marketing helped my, for example, company grow. So that is my knowledge. Okay, this is the synonym of it.
That means she is focused on the skill on the task.
Of course, of course.
But they must
Knowledge.
master it in their field, right?
Yeah, of course. As you can see, yeah.
Yeah, the senior is level of job, right?
Yeah, of course. Senior is someone. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, when I say I'm a senior, okay, it means first I'm experienced and I have skills. So it's like, you know, higher rank, superior experience someone, but it's not the meaning of expertise.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, senior has, you know, expertise, skilled, skilled you know, worker or high-ranking worker.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Okay, the next one, that is, let's see what we have here. Okay, sector. So you know that, the part, sector, area. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sector similar with industry, right?
Sector, of course, it can be. It's not similar. So, for example, we have different sectors, different areas, different parts, okay?
Yeah.
So that is the meaning of sector, okay? Well, and here, as you can, yeah?
For example, agri sector or manufacturing sector, right?
Yeah, of course. For example, when I say business sector, business area, field. So the meaning of it is, yeah, of course, part or position. So like, you know, a large area of something in business, for example, economy or military, any specific area or activity or industry, all of them. So let me write it here. So specific area or activity or industry or business. So all of them, they're sectors. Yeah, of course. Here we are talking about business. Okay, the next one, export growth. So you know that, yeah, increase in the sale.
Yeah.
So export increase in the sale of goods or services. So this is the meaning of export growth.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next one is infrastructure. Infrastructure, that is,
means,
yeah, of course, foundation.
Yeah, everything
Base.
Foundation. Yeah.
Of course, very good foundation, base of something. Yeah. For example, facilities are infrastructures. Like, you know, we need them. They are foundation of any job. So we need. And of course, we have training facilities. So it's important to know it. So you know that.
I think maybe it's infrastructure for education or training.
Of course, training facilities, of course. So we need them. So as I told you, yes, infrastructure is like basic and foundation of every job or business or, for example, sector. And now training facilities, okay, so learning centers, for example. So you know that there are some places or where people can actually are taught and trained. So especially when it comes to specific skills or areas, so anything. Well, so this is about the next one. And okay, we have outsourcing. Okay, cost saving. So, don't make cost saving. So, the meaning of this. Yes. And we have outsourcing vendors and
It's a company.
closer to home. Yeah.
The companies who serve the
Definitely,
outsourced service.
yes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Vendor is seller. Outsourcing, of course, companies that actually, or person, maybe people or companies that perform services or task. Like if I want to give you like third-party vendor or I don't know, external service provider, so out of the country. And the next one that is close to home. So as you can see, like, nearby. When, of course, this one can have different meaning, but when it comes to business, it means like, nearby. When, especially when referring to the location. Yeah. Okay. Well, and there is no other. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We have some questions and now we can answer. So the first one. How is outsourcing in India different to China?
India offers the outside first need because it ready supply a high quality qualified.
Yeah,
That means labor from Indies
yeah.
they better skill.
Yeah, actually, we have, let me show you India. Uh, Let me find sentence to show you. It's like, we have two different, maybe, actually two different activities in these two countries. So the first one, that is India. So it's like, they tend to be for just services. But China, manufacturing, creating, making, okay, producing. So the difference between, yeah, of course. So as you can see, service jobs have shifted overseas from the USA and Europe to countries such as India and China. But they're different because you know that one service, another one manufacturing.
And
No?
again, sorry,
Yeah.
can you say it again?
Yeah, of course. I didn't say anything. Just I said that, we have service and of course we have manufacturing.
Oh yeah,
So India tends to be more for services,
yeah,
China, manufacturing and producing.
yeah,
So they're different.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, and the next one, that is, why were businesses attracted to India in the early part of 21st century? 21st, let's find it.
21st world sourcing in because it was the Western business realized
Yes.
outsourced routine work in order to concentrate
Yes,
on their
very
core.
good. Of course. And the next one, what did the profits from outsourcing allow India to invest in?
Because they estimated 2 million business service jobs have.
No,
No.
look, it's what
Yeah.
did the
The,
profit.
the revenue from export growth in a
Yeah,
country like India also allow greater
very.
investment.
And greater investment
Plus,
in
yeah,
infrastructure, yeah, and training facilities. So they can easily have places to train, to learn, to be more skilled. And of
yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And what are the three reasons why outsourcing might slow down?
Yeah.
The
Uh,
first one,
the first one, that's also significant. Slow down. They have three key. The one reason that's salary sector rise, risen
reason, yeah, of
very
course, very
risen
quickly,
very quickly, uh,
ironically,
ironically, and we got a financial success.
of course.
Mm.
And the next one, a lot of companies,
Uh,
in
the next
addition,
one, the next one, they didn't make cost saving,
very good.
and the last one, a lot of company already outsource OIT and BPOs work they can.
Of course. And we have another one. So yeah, in countries like India, yeah, very good. Okay. Now let's match the words in bold in the article to the definitions. So the first one, okay, part of a country's economy. So let's see.
Uh, Part of countries economy.
Part. Don't actually pay attention to economy. It can be business or anything. So the part
What
that
what
is
what does the meaning of economy in this situation?
economy is economy. So it's like something related to financial issues. Country's
Financial.
economy, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of a country's economy is
Export. Uh,
no,
no.
part.
Sorry.
Sector. Sector,
Sector. Oh,
part. Of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course. Yeah, of course.
Yes, 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 yes.
So, and so part of economies, like country's economy, that is sector.
Yeah.
Basic system like transport that a country needs to work properly. Basic system like transport.
Um, infrastructure.
Very
Infrastructure.
good. Definitely, yes. Infrastructure, very good. And a company's main area of work. Main, the most important.
Means core activity.
Very good, of course. Core activities and uh, companies that sell outsourcing services. Sell.
Company that sells with outsourcing vendor.
Great. Very good. And places where people can learn new skills.
Uh, Learn new skill.
Yeah, places that people, yeah, training,
Yeah,
but
training facility.
very good training facilities, of course. And the next one, an increase in products sold abroad.
Increase products of import growth.
Very good, of course. And people with the training and experience to do job well.
Uh, uh, Outside expertise.
No, skilled workers.
People with training
Yeah,
are
of
people
course.
with
Yeah, skilled people, workers. And
uh,
like 8, yes, contracting a business task to an outside service provider, BPE.
people with training to do. Yeah.
B, business process outsourcing, BPO, contracting a business task to an outside service provider. And 9, knowledge or skills provided. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
iPod Pro. And 7, what is 7? People with training and experience to do
Skilled
job.
workers. Skilled workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one.
Knowledge and skill provided by external supply. Outside expertise.
Okay, expertise, of course.
Expertise, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know that, let me give you something. You know that if you want to have an adjective for expertise,
Yeah.
expert.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
of
Yeah.
course. Let me change the color. Okay, expert. So this one an adjective, but expertise is noun. Okay,
Yeah.
so knowledge or skill, expertise, and based in foreign country, number
Offshore.
10,
Offshore
offshore location, of course. When you find ways to cut your overhead.
Code saving.
Yeah, of course. Very
Saving.
good. Of course, very good. Yeah. And you know that overheads, regular cost, of course. Operating or regular cost. And near to where you based.
Sorry?
Near the last one, near to where you based.
Closer to home.
Very good. Closer to home. Okay. Do you have any questions related to the words that we just learned?
No, I don't.
Okay, so let's keep going with your favorite part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to. No, now it's easy for you. Yeah, it depends. It used to be, but now I think now I can see the progress.
But
Yeah, of course, you've made.
I always feel anxious when
No,
when
you don't.
when I do this task.
But now, no, but yeah, really, you've made really big progress, significant progress in listening. So now you really, you can easily get, no worries about it. So let's listen. Listen to 3 people talking about outsourcing. What advantages and disadvantages do they mention? Are any of them the same as your list in 5? So let's see. Okay, 7.1. Just one moment. Okay.
Unit 7. 7.1. 1.
Every day, EU companies are outsourcing business process tasks to emerging economies where labour costs are lower, in areas like call centres, airlines, legal processing, finance and IT, of course. The UK jobs are going to India, French jobs to North Africa, Spanish jobs are going to Latin America. Germany is outsourcing to Central European countries like Poland and Hungary, and Scandinavia is outsourcing to the Baltic states and India. Of course, outsourcing benefits these countries by injecting money into their economies and driving the development of a modern communications infrastructure. But it also leads to significant job losses in the home countries. I believe that member states of the EU need to do much more to respond to such losses, which can have a big impact on communities. This is not about protectionism, but we need to develop strategies to cope with serious job losses and to create more high-quality jobs in the EU.
Well, so the first one, so as she said, what is it good for?
The first thing she mentioned about the low cost for the offshore company. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the disadvantages is a lot job loss in the home country.
Yeah, actually, yeah, as she said, as she mentioned, it's good for developing countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, for their economies,
Yes.
it's good. But as you said, it leads to, of course, significant job loss. So at
Yes.
home country,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, the next one.
2,
I work for a Swiss financial services company. We first started outsourcing some of our back office work to India a couple of years ago, at a time when we were considering what cost-cutting measures we could take. Labor costs out there were actually 70% lower than in Switzerland. It's been very successful. We've been able to streamline our operation and free up resources for our core activities. We've now moved 2/3 of our IT work to India. We have an IP-based VPN, a virtual private network, which simplifies the operation and improves efficiency. But it's not just about savings or gaining a competitive edge. If you look at countries like Brazil, Russia, India, and China, they're obviously very important for outsourcing, but they are also important potential markets in their own right. They're growing very, very fast, and with hundreds of millions of customers, you can't afford to ignore them.
Well, so the second one, different actually. Yeah, different things that he mentioned.
Yeah, I hear that. I don't hear the disadvantages, but I only hear
Advantage, of course.
advantages. Yeah.
Yeah, of
The first
course.
thing, the first thing they can cut costs.
Yeah,
The
of
cut
course.
cuts, cut because they can save some cost for the core activity.
Yeah, of course.
And besides, they can grow the grow markets. So that means they sell the product in the offshore country. Yeah.
Very good, of course. So this one, the first thing that I heard was, it frees up resources for core activities. For
Yeah.
core activities.
Yeah.
What is this? Actually, when we say free up resources, like, it makes money.
Yeah.
So this is the meaning of it. So the first thing that we heard, so of course it means to make resource. This resource can be money, can be equipment, can be time, okay? So
Yeah.
make resources available for core activities, for the most important activities. So this is the first one. And the second thing, as you mentioned, of course, yeah, it was like, I heard improving efficiency and benefits to economy, you said, of course. And I heard infrastructure of country, yes. And yeah, so now let's see the third one. Let's see what, yes.
So in the second one, I hear that the company can grow markets in the developing country when they offshore location in there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right?
And yeah, of course, a way to work with potential actually market, different market, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
3,
I'm working in Bangalore as a customer advisor for a UK company.
Oh.
There are many companies coming over here nowadays, and it's not just because they can achieve lower overheads. There are a lot of advantages for the companies. They have 24/7 productivity, and with the extra staff, they can be much more flexible and responsive, and they can get through a higher volume of work. Personally, there are a lot of benefits for me. It's a dream job, and it has certainly improved my quality of life. In the past, it was really difficult to get a well-paid job here in southern India, especially for a woman. It's not a rich part of the world, but the pay I get now is absolutely fantastic. Call centers are a growth industry in India, and working for a Western company is a high-status job for Indian people. So if you perform well, you stand to make a lot of money, about the same as a junior doctor.
Well, so just you heard, let me write this word, flexible and responsive. Responsive, like, quick, just, reactive. Yeah. So, yes. The first one?
Yeah, a little bit hard to follow, but
Of course,
I think
the action was Indian.
In the situation, she mentioned that she can improve the quality of her life because she can work and can connect and she mentioned that she can compare work in India at that time to the job in Western, right?
Yeah, it's like she said. So first, I just type here. First, she said that the workforce is more flexible and responsive, and of course productive. So this is the first one. The second one, well-paid jobs, especially for women. So as a woman, I can find jobs. So yes, so there's some actually well-paid jobs, especially for women. Yeah. Well, and it was not a problem. It was a problem with listening because it's really interesting difficult to actually get what Indians said because that is, the accent is so different. So it's not your problem. So the accent was not good. Well, and now, find the verbs. Okay, so let's see. Yes. Find the verbs in the list in audio script 7.1 and check with which nouns they collocate with and complete questions. Okay. So let's see. Do you think outsourcing business process task will what? Will serious jobs losses in the Europe? Will improve, will lead to, will take, streamline?
I think touch.
No, will
take
it means the result will be. So which one?
Sorry?
It means the result will be job losses. So what is that? So will lead to serious job. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think is maybe lead to or touch.
Lead to, definitely, yes, of course. Do you think outsourcing business process task will lead to serious job losses in the EU or Europe? And what strategies could government to cope with job losses and to, so let's see, to
Cope? Can you explain me about the meaning of the
deal with, cope with, deal with, tackle with, deal with, or tackle with. Okay.
Gain?
No. So what factors cause what strategies could governments gain to cope? No, I think could governments we normally develop strategies. So develop to cope with job losses and to, of course, we create more job. Yeah, of course. Okay. Number 3, what factors cause a company to cost-cutting measure?
Free up.
No.
And can you explain me about the streamline?
Okay, simplify. If I want to give you a good synonym, simplify. What is that? For example, streamlined means make a process or a system more efficient by simplifying it. Actually, when we remove unnecessary steps.
Yeah.
And design something more efficient or effective, that is streamline, to improve, like, for example, modernize, to improve, so they're synonyms. For
Yeah.
example, the company decide to streamline its production process to reduce costs. It means make it simple, improve it, simplify is the
Yeah.
synonym.
Take cuts.
Yeah, of course, take measure, of course, that is good. Like take measure, take action.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, the meaning of it. And how do companies, oh, just let me find, I typed something here. I don't know where it is. Okay, I think here. Okay. Well, the next one. Okay. How do companies that outsource, okay, this is, of course, is we achieve lower overheads.
Yeah, achieve,
Yeah,
yes. Yes.
of course. And 5, how does outsourcing help companies to their operation and become more efficient? The meaning of streamline that I told you just now. So streamline their operation means simplify it. And of course, yeah, I just type it. Yeah, streamline, improve, streamline. And
in the files, that means streamline, right?
yeah, definitely. Streamline, that is simplify and improve their operation to become more efficient. And what task could they outsource to resource? This is yeah, we used it. I think I typed it in on board.
Free up.
Very good. Free up resources for their core activities. Very good. And why can companies that outsource a bigger volume of work?
Gain.
Yeah, no, I think get through is, you said get through. Yes. Get through a bigger volume of work. It means they can complete, they can do, they can overcome. Yeah. They can succeed. So all of them are synonyms, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get through a bigger volume. Yeah.
It is gain. How can a company gain a competitive?
Yes, gain, of course, is good. Edge. And in what ways can outsourcing, of course, that is quality of life, just
improve?
Yeah, definitely yes. Improve the quality of life. That is the answer. Very good. Okay, well, let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And could we finish and finish early 10 minutes?
Of course, why not? Just have a great working day.
Yeah. Thank you, and see you on the next month.
Of course, yeah. Not next week, of course. 2 weeks later. So see you later. Have a great break. Enjoy your holiday. Just a short break and see you.
Yeah, thank you. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.